And just like that, we are back with your 4K. It's pool plays today, and then championship bracket starts tomorrow. And we've seen some crazy matchups so far, but now it's time for me and Tim to join in on the craziness, because you can't have crazy without me and Timmy.
That's
Active,
true.
how you feeling today, baby?
Feeling phenomenal, man. I streamed a little bit, had some great matchmaking games, and now we get to watch some top-level Halo. It's going to be a great series. We've seen this series before, though, Tony, right? These two played each other last week.
They really did. Gamers First and Cloud9 went at it during the JJ events, the $2,000 event. And let me tell you, G1 pulled off the 3-0 against this very capable Cloud9 roster. And looks like with Gamers First snatching up that ball, snatching up every utility on the map, including the camouflage. It looks like they're trying to do the same thing again, but a little too early to decide there.
Yeah, so for me, when it comes down to this is like, you know, how much work did Cloud9 put in to the VOD review of that event, right? They're obviously trying to prepare for this matchup. Pool play is also very, very important. So how do they prepare coming into this match against G1? Do they have, you know, some straps that might counter what G1 does and how they play? We'll have to find out right now. At the moment, Cloud9 are 3 dead and a little bit of a lead here for G1.
You guys are right now, Cloud9 only able to manage to put 4 kills on the board at the moment. Meanwhile, Boo and Savage almost match those individually. The Slays heavily going in favor of Gamers First, and it's so hard to break a setup. It's so hard to get that ball out of the hands of your opposition if you are not getting those kills.
And honestly, it looks like G1 is getting the kills. They do trade out 2, though, and honestly, Cloud9 going to do a great job of getting that wipe. They're 4 dead momentarily for G1, so Cloud9 a little bit of a setup, but look how quick they are to get into this elevator side. Once again, just so fast to react off of their spawn to make sure to push their advantage, but the rotation comes out. And of course, Cloud9 trying to continue to rack up that ball time, and they get 3 dead in the process.
Sav almost making a play, getting right behind enemy lines right there behind 3 different members of Cloud9. Got the back smack onto 1, but could not follow through with this. So Cloud9 continue to put some good points on the board, and the ball hasn't been played just yet here. We're switching gears over towards Falcated, waiting for the active camouflage to come up. Triton right above on the top A side. They're gonna have to address both of these players on the tower side before they're able to come in with the camouflage, and it looks like that's exactly what Falcon is able to do. Takes down 2 by himself, now working on the 3rd, not only forcing him to play the ball, but also taking down 3 out of 4 members of Cloud9. Gamers First steal active camo.
That was beautiful execution right there off the cross shot damage from top glass. I love the fact that Falcated took out the most important players first on the top of that tower and then transferred over to the ball player. Beautifully played.
Great shots come out of Suspector here, staying alive over toward the A side. Their new challenger does appear, and this time it's Rambi coming in with the fisticuffs. Rambi, the final player live of Cloud9, but again, when the Slays are heavily going in favor of Gamers First, the objective efficiency is just easy from there. Gamers First once again snatching up that ball, and although Rambi gets the big kill, there's only so much you can do by yourself. Now the spawning players of Cloud9 coming in quick, breaking right through the gold side, snatching the ball off the lifeless bodies of Gamers First. This is the setup we wanted to see out of Cloud9.
Yeah, G1 playing a little bit overconfident in these pushes. They're trying to take fights where they don't necessarily have the numbers advantage, and Cloud9 is making them pay for that. Because of that, Cloud9 takes a very early lead here, 51-33.
Double kill.
Hang on, Triton. This wasn't a part of the script here. My man's starting to heat up, and you know I'm loving it. Multiple Slays gonna win. Lines up the grapple, steals that ball, and gets right over toward the gold side with, I was gonna say taking minimal damage, but the crossback shot from Suspector should be able to finish him off. Squall just a bit late to get that kill. Falcated is gonna be taken out over toward the gold side, and once again, Cloud9 starting to gain this advantage. Squall hitting every shot onto his former captain, then throwing an excellent sticky grenade, which I still don't know how it didn't capture, didn't stick right there. My gosh, Squall and Cloud9 really started to get into groove right now. They even have the lead.
Yeah, it's unorthodox as well, because G1's game 1 record is 62%. G1 wins 62% of their game 1s. Cloud9 only win 22% of their game 1s. So honestly, G1 really starting off kind of slow in this series, and Cloud9 really taking advantage. Like I said, maybe that bot review's coming into play.
oftentimes we talk about at this level of competition, it being more about the X factors, it being more about the intangibles, not just, you know, who has the better shot and who has the best skill, because at this level, everybody has the gunny, but what are those intangibles? What are those outside factors? And I think momentum is a very important one. So game number one, setting the pace, setting the tone of this series, so important. Sab,
Killing spree.
clearly an acrobat back in the day or in a previous life. I don't know what was going on there. My man has the wiggles with that grapple. What a play out of Savinator.
Yeah, I mean, this game's been out for what, a year and a half now. I still don't think we've seen the most that we're gonna see out of the grapple. I mean, there's plays like that that kind of just throw off players and really just throw off the gunfight, where you can really take advantage of height advantage when someone drops down, etc. But I'm really impressed with the fact that Cloud9 has 69 points on the board right now, still maintaining this lead. And honestly, it looks like they're behind in slays as well. So that objective efficiency is really coming to fruition.
And how big of a win would this be here for Squale of Cloud9? Again, previously on this gamer's first roster with the beautiful double kill with the Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo, but the nades come right back at him from Cloud9. How big would this win be for Squale of Cloud9 to go at his former team? You know, obviously Squale was left off of that gamer's first roster. You know, they thought with this, they thought this lineup would be a little bit more talented, a little bit more of a winning team, as opposed to having maybe Squale, maybe even having Swish on that roster. So both of those players being dropped off. Wouldn't it be huge if Squale gets a big win, upsetting his former team right here in the 4K, where these points really matter? Cloud9 7 seconds away from taking round number one, and this is indicative of the rest of the series here. Cloud9 showing that they're capable and they do not fear gamers first. 2-1, Cloud9 taking round one.
That was a beautiful round right there, and I want to touch on what you said just a little bit. I truly do think, look at this play with the grapple first off. Gets the kill right there, gets top 8 control, but I want to talk about Squale. I mean, I truly do think that when you're playing for that little bit extra right there, maybe just to prove that, you know, G1 wrong, that you know, maybe there's a little bit of bad blood in that situation. You just want to prove yourself. You play for that little bit extra, it starts to bring out the best in you, and right now, Squale 12-10, really putting in some damage and putting in the work, showing that he's a great player and he deserves to be on a great team.
And not only 12-10, but getting impactful kills, getting impactful and valuable damage, like that double kill to start off, trying to grab those resources like the camouflage and the shock rifle, even putting damage onto the third player, Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo right there. We're not just talking about, you know, him stuffing the stat sheet, we're talking about him being impactful on the game as well. As Falcon flies in, gets the cleanup kill onto Rami. Cloud9 are going to end up going 3 down. That means gamers first will take advantage of that ball. But meanwhile, Savage Spectre off the screen end up going down. Squale having that shock rifle here on the gold side of the map. He was the final player alive from Cloud9 and somehow has slowed down this entire setup here that should have been gamers first.
Yeah, you're right. He took top control here on the red side. And honestly, what that did was kind of force G1 in a position where they were trapped on that elevator side with pushes from tower and also pushes from pipes. And it just puts them in an uncomfortable situation. They had to put the ball down, couldn't get any time, and because of that, it looks like Cloud9 have control once again.
And with that control, Trine snatches up that shock rifle once again, using that ball as bait. Doesn't have the timing, doesn't have the numbers to play with, but has the wherewithal to keep gamers first as far away as possible from that ball. Off screen, Nemesis the first one to go down once again here for Cloud9. Trying to line up any easy shot. One perfect kill can be enough to start a push. But as I say that, Cloud9 go 2 down. Trine somehow finds the flanking Suspector right there. Almost lines the shot as a Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo says, you know what, I'm going to take height with the grapple and chase him down. And just like that, Cloud9 have the advantage as they move forward into the gold side of the map. And
they get that advantage because Triton is in unorthodox positions with this shock rifle, being in positions where, you know, G1 is not going to expect them to get these off angles and really start to pick apart the offense of G1, and with that they can take control and they can be aggressive themselves and try to get some ball time here. But wait, we've got a Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo with the camo, and Tony, we know all about this story.
How unfortunate it is for Cloud9. At the same time, you go 3 down. At the same time, gamers first are able to get that camouflage and snatch at that ball, get it to the gold side off the top rope, missing the melee, goes for the people's elbow, and is able to turn right back in as Suspector gets the cleanup kill onto Squale. Rami does find himself one. Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo know exactly where he's coming from. Couple easy shots onto him, gonna let him get onto the gold side of the map, and so far Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo being a nuisance with that camo, but it's just run out and so has his time on the map. Never mind.
He gets away. But one of the big things right there, Tony, that you kind of pointed out is the camo did run out. And honestly, I'm used to seeing much more out of the camo when they answer Boo Boo Doo Boo. He's said to be one of the best camo players in the game. And right there, only gets 1 kill, not really able to provide a lot of pressure. And because of that, Cloud9's really not going to feel the brunt of that. That being said, there is 33 seconds and counting on the board here for G1. They're looking to try to get a lead on this round with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, 2 minutes on the clock here. Cloud9 still having plenty of time to mount a comeback and be able to get the kill that they're looking for. Tries to take a shortcut into the gold side. Almost nades himself, but the double back comes in, and so does Falcon. It's a clean house, taking down 2. Now his 16th kill, 11 assists to go along with it, and the most ball time on his team. Falcated onto the gold side setup. Cloud9 spawning over towards a Nemesis, not getting that help fast enough that he was looking for, and now Cloud9 are dying 1 at a time. This is not the teamwork that we want to see, especially as Gamers First are just gaining this lead over and over again, even going down to 1 shot, snatching up that ball. The chemistry is there, the teamwork is there. Gamers First looking so much better in this round 2.
Yeah, but Cloud9 did get that trade down to Suspector, and that's going to allow them to get this camo now in the hands of Nemesis. What happens with this camo is the question here. He can make some impactful plays here and really turn the tide of this game. With 78 seconds and counting for this G1 roster, this camo play is massive, and he gets 1, but not able to get much more.
I don't know if that was his own nade or a team nade, but some nade that lit up blue brought Nemesis down to 1 shot, and when he had 3 players in front of him, that seems highly unfortunate, Tim.
Yeah.
That could have been, like you said, he needed to make a play with that camouflage. It looked like a play was starting to manifest there, and then his screen just lights up blue from those nades, and those are the things you can't do, not at this level of competition.
And you're right, and it must have been a lack of communication, maybe lack of small talk. I talk about small talk all the time, just letting your teammates know where you are, where you're pushing. It could have been a team nade, and that's going to take the value directly out of that camo. It's going to strip it clean, and because of that, only 5 seconds was gained, and with 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining, Cloud9 got their back up against the wall. This could be G1's chance to tie this up.
Cloud9 still in it though. Minute 10 seconds on the clock. The gold side is being controlled by Cloud9, but can they win these individual battles? Falcon and Sav getting back-to-back kills on their way down to the long haul side. Rami does get a big trade there, but eventually Cloud9 still go 4 down. And with that, you're talking about, what, 10 seconds off a respawn, another 4 seconds to get back on the map. I don't even know if they mathematically have enough time to even touch the ball carrier, excuse me, let alone kill him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, essentially when you get a 4 wipe, it's generally 15 seconds of ball time uncontested. You can pretty much add that up, and that's exactly what they get. Very well said, Tony. That's going to bring us to a round number 3, and we're looking at a G1 that looks a lot more energized in that second round. We'll see if they can carry that on to this round number 3.
Well, of course, we're talking about this game number 1. We're talking about this level of competition of 4K right now, where the 16 best teams are going at. Of course, game number 1 is going to go down to a round number 3, and I'm here for every single moment of it. Cloud9 immediately starting 2 down, but they're able to match that energy, going right after Gamers First. Suspector looking for the exit, but couldn't find it. Boo Boo Doo Boo baiting out that camo over towards the mid-map, able to take down 1, but can't quite find 2. It looks like Cloud9 are going to get a hold of the camo. Gamers First going to get first hands on ball.
Yeah, G1 kind of trade out that camo. After Boo Boo dies, they don't put any more resources towards the camo, and because of that, they're going to be able to rotate this ball over towards A. That being said, though, G1 get 3 kills on the board for Cloud9, and they're going to get some setup here finally on the elevator side. And like I said before, that's a pretty much 15 seconds of ball time that you can count on as long as the spawns are in their favor.
Cloud9 spawning over toward the C side. Looks like Gamers First applying a lot of pressure over toward the long haul. They want a secondary round of slaves. Falcon passes that ball over towards Boo Boo Doo Boo. Finally, Boo Boo Doo Boo finds it, and Falcon is finding some heads. Takes down 1. Rami does end up going down off screen. Falcon giving him a bit of the wiggles, is gonna trade out his life eventually there. And once again, Gamers First having those advantage when it comes to numbers, able to stay alive and simply put down as much damage as possible. And that's because sneaky plays like this, they sneak in, they sneak out, and before you know it, they're cleaning up kills from across the map. Gamers First are such a tough team to deal with.
You know why, Tony? You know why they're a tough team to deal with? Look at the top left of your screen, in the very center column under the A, the assist column. We got 16, 16, 14, and 8 out of G1. And then you look at the other side of things, not the same storyline. And I think that G1, the chemistry is a big factor. I think that they're playing really well together, and they're making sure to get all of these camos, which is another huge, huge advantage for them as well. They can continue to do this. This round 3 is going to end very quick.
Love the fact that trying giving up his life right there, though, in the middle of 3 different players to trade out his life with the camouflage players. So, you can't let camo roam around the map, especially with when gamers first have it in hand. So, love that unselfish play out of them, but will it translate to anything more? Rami's over on the gold side putting down damage, but he's simply by himself. He gets a kill onto Boo Boo Doo, but eventually it's cleaned up right away. And now the gold side control that Cloud9 were trying to have in order to move that ball into a setup is now right in the hands of gamers first, but the spawners are in. Cloud9 busts through the gold side. Rami trades out his life once again, and Squale somehow emerges the only player alive here for his team.
His objective is to try and get that ball out of batteries and into pipes, but unfortunately he does go down. Triton is in a bad situation here as well, but he wins the 1v1. That's called a pivotal fight, guys. That's a piv. If you don't know in the chat, that's a piv, and that's very important, but he goes down, and that's what's so good about G1, being able to convert on those weak players quickly, not allow them to get their shields back. That means you get in there before 5 seconds is up, you're able to clean up that kill, and you're able to continue to take this control. But here comes another push by Rami in a trade once again.
With all the time that's been knocked off of the timer here, somehow only 15 points a second between both of the teams. It's 15-0 in favor of gamers first, but it doesn't seem like as much time as so far we've seen in round number 3. I guess both of these teams so equally matched. They're both emptying the tank, and it's so hard for either one of them to get control. Finally, gamers first get their hands on that ball, but what happens to Spectre now, the first player to go down. Gamers first now gonna relocate, reevaluate things a little bit, backing all the way down, but the nades coming in out of Nemesis, and Cloud9 puts gamers first 3 down. Finally, Cloud9 on the board, and finally Cloud9 have a setup of their own.
A setup and a camo, and I just love the idea that Cloud9 went in there off of that 1 kill, was aggressive, and cleaned up the other 3 very quickly. Now they've got G1 on a little bit of a spawn rotation here. They get another 3, and that's more time on the board for Cloud9. The entirety of that time holding on onto that ball, and now they've got shock rifle, but that play could cost him not being able to get on that bat ledge. He does recover quickly with another grapple, but again, this is a big play by Triton, holding on to this shock. He's gonna be in a big position to play defense here.
We saw the Avengers game going into a game 5, and now we know Rebellion win their game 5 against Proton, and hopefully we see another game 5 here between gamers first and Cloud9. With how evenly matched both of these teams look right now, I would not be surprised. A 24-22 lead going towards Cloud9, but look how hard gamers first worked for their scrappy time, and look how Cloud9 were able to put 24 seconds seemingly on one setup. So it makes me happy, or makes me optimistic that Cloud9 could come off a spawn, maybe answer right back. All they need is a clean round of slays. I guess that's easier said than done when you're going up against gamers first.
Yeah, but that's what Cloud9 does so well. Like I said earlier, they get that 1 kill and they capitalize on it. They play aggressive. They're able to get the perfect angles in order to make that aggression happen and to make that break continue. And with a minute remaining, it's not going to be enough. Cloud9 really have to get a full setup here. They've got 3 dead. This is their opportunity. But Boo Boo's trying to stop it from happening. That's a big kill by Triton.
Boo Boo Doo ends up going down, and so do 3 members of gamers first. To double kill out of trying to snatch that shock rifle back up, and now Cloud9 continue to put points on the board. Like you said, there's a minute left here. Cloud9 were on the roast, but now it's gamers first that are searching for an answer off the spawn, searching for that first kill, but it will not come. Boo Boo Doo getting shredded from across the map. Squale gonna win his pivotal gunfight against Sab. Suspector comes in quick with the cleanup here, but Cloud9 still have their setup locked in. They have the lead here, and now they're dropping that ball into no man's land, but Falcated is here as well.
Triton wins another big one. He has to stay alive here. That's the only route maybe that he thought he had, just due to the fact that they were pushing through pipes, but that's not good that he went down there. It's going to be about how fast Cloud9 are able to push through. G1 are going to get this time. They're going to get a little bit of a lead, and they're going to start to play the clock. And with that first kill onto Squale, this is not looking too good for Cloud9. That's 2 kills on the board once again. G1 looking to close this out right now.
And despite not having the lead, Spectre and Sab drop that ball and the double push out of the gold side to secure those kills. Right now, every kill matters. Shrine goes down for Cloud9. Rami gonna be the next one. It looks like somebody has to make a play, and Squale brings it upon himself. Gets the kill onto one, down to one shot. Squale needed to stay alive here. They have to make something happen. You're down. There's 8 seconds on the clock. Rami's onto the gold side, but they know the flanking Sab is here. Boo Boo Dubu gets him across the map. Boo Boo Dubu now takes down Nemesis. Cloud9 goes 4 down, and Cloud9 are losing game number 1.
Gamers first, gonna win game number 1, and it was all that very end play, right? Sab has the flank onto pipes. Boo Boo Dubu's on bottom tower with the, I believe, the shock rifle, just cross shooting on the players playing aggressive there. Great teamwork, and we saw it in their assists. They were able to play together more often, be involved in more fights together, and that's what won them the game at the end of the day. That being said, a lot of assists on the board of G1, but this game was very close, Tony. We went down to the wire.
That we did. I'm telling you, man, if the series goes like that, we will see a game 5. We may see a 50-49. That was exciting all the way down to the last second, having to go 3 rounds for G1 to finally take down Cloud9. And we're not even talking about doing it by points. We're talking about using every last second in that match. Craziness, but a wake-up call for Cloud9. You know, G1, arguably top 4 in the league right now. You know, definitely, I would say everybody's top 6, and really one of the toughest teams to deal with in the league. Cloud9 getting that wake-up call. They're going to have to come into this game number 2 with even more ice, with even more coordination, with even more teamwork. They're going to have to use every last bit of skill, talent, chemistry in order to come out on top against G1. I'm not saying it's impossible, Tim, but it's going to be a tough road against Gamers First.
You know, we were talking about this in the green room, Tony. This is some of the most competitive Halo that we've ever seen. You know, I come out of Charlotte, you know, I was able to do a little bit of a watch party of that and just enjoyed the grand finals so very much. And it's not only the grand finals that was close, it spirals all the way down to the open bracket. So many of these teams, everyone's so just equally skilled, and it just comes down to these incredible matches we're able to watch. Talking about a game 5, I hope that this one goes to a game 5, but we're on game number 2, Tony. It's going to be Live Fire Slayer with G1 up 1-0.
Yeah, if Gamers First are arguably a top 6, top 4 team in the league, I think many people who have that same scale would probably put Cloud9 in top 16, top 12. But I think a lot of people understand that Cloud9 are also knocking on the door of making it to top 8, maybe even legitimately being a contender for top 6. It's not going to be easy. I feel like it's going to take a lot of hard work here for Cloud9, but the skill is there. Their play styles mesh really well, and when they're firing on all cylinders, Cloud9 legitimately are a scary team. So as of right now, like I said, top 16, top 12, you know, I always say there's levels to this, and right now Gamers First might be a level above them, but at the end of the day, you come out and you just leave it all on the line. You come out and show the world what you have, especially on a tournament here as big as the 4K.
Very important tournament here, points being such a big factor in the lands. Are you seeing that shroud screen being utilized? It was utilized to get Spectre to stay alive, but because of that, it's not utilized for this overshield, whereas that's pretty much the meta nowadays. And Cloud9 gonna have this very first OS. The question is, what happens off of this? You see a lot of players kind of getting shots into the overshield and staying alive. That overshield does not charge back up. So you get the shots in, you stay alive, you get your shields back, but that OS ends up being null and void, and there it is.
Wow.
There it is. The OS is completely out of the game. Beautiful job by G1 to melt that OS down together.
I feel like Squally was trying to make lemons out of lemonades, do damage onto multiple targets. The problem is the damage that was coming towards him was just that much greater, and G1 are so slippery. None of them dying to that overshield player. It's almost like they play like a little bit of whack-a-mole, like 2 shots here, they run away. Squally looks like, where did he go? And then 2 shots here, like peekaboo, like they're just popping up all over the place. And eventually overshield gets neutralized. Gamers First end up going 3 down, so Cloud9 don't need that overshield in order to win some of their pivotal battles. A 13-10 lead, still in favor of Gamers First, for Cloud9 really starting to gain a bit of momentum here. They're really starting to take control.
This next overshield going to be a point of contention, and it comes up in about 15 seconds. If G1's able to get this next overshield and make it, you know, valuable, they could really take over here and really take the lead. Cloud9 getting a couple really crucial kills though, but Triton's gonna throw away the sniper. That's gonna be sniper in the hands of G1. Unfortunately, he does go down. That was a Spectre, but that sniper still on the board. That could make some impactful plays as well. And there we go. Another overshield in the hands of Cloud9. This one's gotta work out, Tony, doesn't it?
Squale with that sidekick, making it work well, doing damage onto one, but we can't have the same story that we saw in that first one. Damage is not enough either. Those damage have to be converted to kills of your own, or at least assists so that your teammates are cleaning them up. Squale takes the plasma pistol away, can't quite make the jump, but at least he's not gonna be neutralized here behind 3 different players. No, there could be one over toward the tower side. Trigger discipline comes in. He's not gonna fire onto the first, allows Rami to take down Falcon, and Squale ends up getting shredded here. Triton is able to take down Suspector and can't get the trade on Boo Boo Doo, but eventually Gamers First do end up going 3 down, almost 4 down. Cloud9 do win some of those engagements at least.
Yeah, that's what you got to look at, right? You can't really look at, there was value in the overshield where it took a lot of eyes towards it, and then, you know, Cloud9 were able to capitalize on that and get the kills that they needed. It's a tie game now, but I still want to see more of that, more out of that OS. Squale, second time picking it up now, doesn't really, you know, put too much pressure on the map, not really able to get any damage in or any kills out of it. Honestly, if Cloud9 gets another one here, I want to see more come out of that than just a little bit of baiting.
Cloud9 with just a 1-kill lead, but Nemesis with this heat wave, sadly, he's getting his shot from the left to the right, all sides here, and that's gonna put Cloud9 3 down. Triton can't get away. Suspector with the triple kill, not yet done, as 2 members of Cloud9 have somehow snuck their way over toward the big door side, are trying to push G1 out of the green side of the map. Rami able to take down Falcon. It looks like Nemesis rips apart Suspector right there, and Boo Boo Doo having no other option but to retreat back up, reset, get back toward the spawning players, especially as Overshield has just came up.
Yeah, and Sab is going to be the one that has it. So now we've got G1. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on, Tony? The nades are coming from everywhere.
He's stuck. I swear he stuck his teammate with Overshield there.
Oh no.
I swear that wasn't just a team grenade. That was a stick onto his own Overshield. Louis, we don't have to record that one. We're going to have to look at that one after this game.
I know what it feels like. I play with Tony. He sticks me all the time. Jeez.
Those are on purpose. I just don't like it. 27 apiece right now. Cloud9 able to put the 28th on the board. Half the members for each of the team end up going down. Suspector being the we talked about it in his interview. He said, I'm one of the hardest kills in the game, and you're seeing why. Rami having to jump off of the top rope in order to trade out his life here. Cloud9 defending this A side for dear life. Meanwhile, Gamers First are starting to move in position. They're starting to surround Cloud9 over toward the A side. Eventually, this setup becomes a trap if you don't move enough, if you don't play through it.
That's a good point. You have to rotate out of this, right? You can't let them just kind of get damage in on you. Boo Boo does a really good job right there of playing on the lower side, playing on that bottom center. Bottom center, very high risk, but very high reward if you're able to catch the enemy team off guard, and that's exactly what he does. G1, though, still only holding a 2-kill lead here on Cloud9. This is a very close series, like we've already talked about, but we're seeing that time and time again every second we watch, and it's going to be plays like this out of Falcated that really start to turn the tide.
Who you punching, Rami? Yeah, he punching goes. He punching the air. They can't no camouflage on this map, and oh my gosh, was that a double repulse right there that we just saw?
I think so.
As Falcon ends up going flying across the map there. It's a 37-34 lead. Gamers First still having control here. Plenty of time though. Sniper rifle coming up. Falcon saw one, overcommitted, didn't know there was a flanking player over toward the scoreboard side, and now that was their angles that they caught over towards Overshield. G1 love attacking Overshield from the C and the A side, but their A side presence ends up going down. Squale steals another Overshield, but sadly another Overshield somewhat wasted for Cloud9. I feel like they needed that here in clutch time.
Yeah, it's 3 for 3 now. I mean, I don't mean to call out Squale, you know, as an individual player. That's not the idea here, but you know, you have 3 OSs awarded to you if you're Cloud9. You really could have just used those to take advantage of this match to get that sizable lead, but instead they're all kind of squashed, and that could be either, you know, maybe it could be the fact that G1 is just so good to act on, just making sure those OSs are done. They had the plasma pistol there. They were able to capitalize and get that quick kill.
Only a 1-kill lead though, and we're here in crunch time. A couple members of Cloud9 are defending the mud side, and somehow Boo Boo Dooble able to weather the storm long enough for the rest of G1 to get in position and finish off those kills. But off the screen, Squale does take down Sab and slows down their push completely. Boo Boo Dooble getting a bit of resources here and a couple of shrouds, and now we're seeing the pinks come in. We're seeing all of the gamers first addressing this green side. Looks like they're going to try to push right through it as Cloud9 is starting to get in position himself on the sandbag. Triton having no idea. Boo Boo Dooble's right there. Boo Boo Dooble then shrouds right out of the situation, somehow able to stay alive. Nemesis then repulses right up to the top mid side, puts the heat wave to work immediately. Also has a sniper rifle in the back pocket. Another overshield is coming up. Can Cloud9 slow the game down here?
That's exactly what you're doing. You see that they know the spawns are coming out on the B side. There was, again, Boo Boo Dooble down bottom center, and they back up. That's exactly what you see. But Nemesis is playing very far up right now. He's got a heat wave, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get converted on. This cuts area is a very easy area to nade, and he's got a very important weapon. Playing this far up, it's not the best idea, but he does get the stick, and he turns around and gets the killing spree. Oh my word! Oh my word! Cloud9 are going to tie up the series 50-47. The play that I thought wasn't really great ended up being beautiful. Incredible job by Nemesis and Cloud9.
Nemesis had his back against the wall right there, and with very little, if any, exits, he just slowly backs down, whips out those nades, makes sure that he wins his gun. Look at this, out of ammo, out of options, really. Chucks that grenade. Does that bounce off the wall and get stuck? Oh,
yep.
Tim Duncan, like, look at Tim Duncan in this prime as he stinks somewhere. You know what they say, you know, when your back's against the wall, you know, the cats, they whip out the claws. Nemesis putting his claws right into the opposition. Cloud9 answer back and steal that game 50-47.
Just scared me, his positioning there. I mean, he didn't have any snipe ammo, so I understand now why he played so aggressively. You know, who am I to question the great Nemesis? But that stick really did the work there, and his teammates behind him making sure that he was covered in that cuts area. Incredible job. And now we go to a game number 3, tied up 1-1. Cloud9 really making this difficult for this G1 roster.
You know what I called that, Tim? You know what I called that game 3?
What? Swing?
I call it a swing game number 3. Woo! And it's so important. I tell you all the time, 98.7492% of the time, the team that wins a game 3 when the series is tied up goes on to win the series. It's momentum, it's control, it's pacing, and right now, it's the most important game of the series between Gamers First and Cloud9. Of course, when you're looking for that fight, you already know you gotta take it to the streets of New Mombasa.
I don't know if you saw it, Tony, but we had a lower thirds right there with your name on it, and underneath it said statistics. I give you that role as well. Absolutely beautiful math out of you. I was terrible at math in school, but here we go. Right off the bat, we've got a lot of aggression here from G1. I'm thinking that they want to take this and be aggressive right off the bat, but look at Rami with the rockets making things happen.
Rami down to one shot immediately. It looks like Boo Boo Dooble was able to take him down, but Squale able to move that stalker rifle all the way away from the seaside of the map onto Bravo, and now out of the trip cap, Cloud9 are in, and they're already working on Alpha. Early control for Gamers First, but a beautiful response now coming out of Cloud9.
That response is going to put G1 3 down at this very moment. Rami using Tony's favorite weapon, but it's not going to work for him. Falcon is going to get that kill. And now they're kind of collapsing right now, trying to get some space on the map, but some great defense from Cloud9, but it's not enough. 3 go down, and now Nemesis goes down as well. G1 going to look to take control.
Suspector immediately dropping off the top C side. The reset of C comes in, and they're already controlling Bravo right now. So Gamers First looking good, having that early control, 45-0-1 and counting as they take down Triton. And Suspector able to get that double kill onto Rami as well. Nemesis tries to slow them down just a bit, but he's on PD. As of right now, Suspector says, I'm going to drop this shroud. If you're just going to stay in PD, I'm going to steal away Alpha. And I don't know if you know this, but the more plots we have, the faster we gain points. That's how Strongholds works, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I see. I learn something new every day. Something else I learned is Suspector is 5-0 at the moment. You can see just by the way he's moving. He's looking to make some things happen. Of course, the Caster Curse comes in. He gets his first death. But now without putting tons of damage in, Boo Boo gets a big double there, but 3 down for G1. Cloud9 now on the advantage, and with these rockets coming up, this could be big for them.
Squale immediately wants to get over toward the B railing position. And you can see half the map here and have so much cover, but he sees that Spectre and Falcator moving up over towards purple. Squale now going to reposition here, able to not only clean up the kills over towards the mid side, but even having the option to challenge Charlie. He knows at least one player is here, and it's his former captain in Boo Boo Dubu, and Boo Boo Dubu had a stalker rifle. That's not fair. You don't bring a stalker to a BR fight.
Yeah, this stalker can do some massive damage. As you can see right here, it's up to Cloud9 to make sure to single out Boobadooboo here, because this stalker can just do such massive damage across the map. It's going to prevent any push from happening. G1 going to capitalize on these two plots, and now you're going to look for Boo to just kind of play that damage role on the C side and kind of anchor that position while his teammates gain some space. And there it is. Rami goes down. Unfortunately, B does get taken, but you're going to see A flipped here as well.
Falcon hits Rami with the Will Smith on his way over towards the Alpha side of the map. Couple flank shots onto Squale, more like warning shots there. Alpha is going to be taken. Charlie in control here for Gamers First. And Falcon has really slowed it down. He knows they're gonna allow Cloud9 to spawn up over towards Red Tree. They can spawn up over towards Bravo, and Gamers First are perfectly comfortable dividing their resources. You have two that are watching C, two that are watching A, and the moment that call out comes in, they're just gonna rotate.
Yeah, and you see Spectre in that neutral position, right? Just trying to be in a situation where he can do exactly what you said, Tony, and just be in that situation to help whoever needs help, whatever side is getting pushed first. It's going to be 4 dead for Cloud9 and an opportunity for G1 to continue to hold this. They're going to get a triple cap for maybe, oh, they're not going to get it at all as they spawn onto A, but they're going to probably push for this. They just got to get the slays first. These rockets coming up, this pressure is extremely important out of Gamers First.
Rocket spawning up toward the mid-map. Sav off the screen gets himself a double kill to clear out this police station side, then immediately hops onto Alpha. For those of you in my diamond rank lobbies that don't know the value of the trip cap, sit down and shut up, watch and take notes here. Gamers First about to show you how you turn a 135 to 50 point game into more and ultimately into a win. Falcator with the rockets in hand over on the arcade side. You see that there's multiple members of Cloud9 pushing up over towards Charlie. All you're doing is put a beacon on your head of exactly where you're at. Falcator comes in, able to take down Squale, quickly pulls out because it looks like Nemesis has rotated onto the Alpha side.
Yeah, you're starting to see, right? They get 2 dead, and then they push the aggression. They're going to push Nemesis again. They get him dead. Now 2 dead again for Cloud9. They're going to continue to stagger these spawns over and over and over again. Right now, Cloud9 are what you call in a blender, and they've got to get out, and by doing that, the only way to do that, I'm sorry, is to get the first kill on the board for G1 and then push off of that. But right now, it doesn't look like they have any options. They're just getting slayed completely by G1 in this situation.
Yeah, you know, obviously Rami's the ice, Nemesis is the strawberries, Shrine is the blueberries, and of course you gotta add a little bit of honey in there. Squale's the honey, and we just have a nice little Cloud9 smoothie being blended up right now as Gamers First now move in for a trip cap, and you see the Stalker rifle in the hands of Boo Boo Dubu looking to beat up with Sap in order to clear up the A side. When we talked about that trip cap, what was it, 135 to 50? Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
210 to 61, and it's still going here. Gamers First are absolutely looking dominant here and want to take this game number 3 as Cloud9 have not found an answer to the aggression here of Gamers First.
Yeah, this A is going to be reset in just a moment, and this will be some more points on the board for G1. This is a very convincing game number 3. You called it the swing game type, and honestly, that's what G1 wants in this situation. They want to be able to take this and be confident coming out of that. They have rockets as well. Falcated picks up the new rockets with the old rockets in hand, so you can just see full control out of this squad with 5 seconds remaining. They're going to look to close this out.
Rocket Inception now coming in. Falcated with the long-range shot. That's going to give him the killing frenzy, and you're seeing where that dominance is coming in. Cloud9 can't find the kill, let alone hold on to a two-plot setup long enough to even get them into triple digits. With them moving in for Alpha and Bravo at the same time, that's going to be it. Mathematically impossible for Cloud9 to win. Gamers First take game number 3, and now 1 win away from putting their 3rd on the board.
And something I really want to talk about, because we talked about it in game number 1, and I got to talk about it once again. Look at the assists.
Talk about it.
Look at the assists, Tony, on the side of Cloud9. There was 2 players with goose eggs. Big, huge Easter goose eggs. You can't have that. G1, almost all of them double digits, very close to double digits, I should say. And that's what you call teamwork. Being involved, it's called teamwork, Hachi, for all you old guys out there like me. You know, it's very important to be involved in all of the fights that your teammates are involved in, to make sure that, you know, you're not taking those 1v1s, that you're not taking pivotal fights every single time. G1, incredible job. Their chemistry's really starting to show.
And now Cloud9 gonna have to come in with some different goose eggs. They're gonna come in with the cojones in game number 4. And in order to go toe-to-toe with Gamers First here, they gotta answer back and desperately send us into a game number 5. It starts right here on game 4. This is where you make your stance. You don't have momentum on your side. You have everybody right now counting you out right now, saying this is gonna be a 3-1. This is where you prove everyone wrong. This is where you draw the line in the stand that says it ends right here, right now. It ends here on Argyle. Cloud9 fighting desperately here. Can they go the distance with G1?
We'll see what happens here. Of course, Argyle, one of the newer maps of the circuit, and something that I think a lot of top players, and you said it yourself, Tony, you enjoy watching this at high level play. I would have to agree with you. It's definitely some really entertaining Halo to watch. Of course, the 2 snipers on the map. We love these 2 sniper maps. Here we go, though. This is it right here. Game number 4. Cloud9 need to answer right now. That camo going to be stolen instantly, though. Not sure who ended up taking that. Triton was trying to get there with the grapple, but unfortunately, the camo is gone. That camo is going to play a big factor in some flag pulls as well as some map control.
I don't like the way you always sound so surprised when I'm right about something. I feel I don't know what's going on here, but either way, Argyle captured the flag. It started to grow on me as a spectator. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of playing it, but watching it seems at the top level, it's been really exciting, especially with the sniper rifles and the grapple play opportunities. Cloud9 gonna have to deal with Boo Dooble and his sniper rifle, and one way to counter a sniper is to send 2 or 3 with the long range shots, melt them immediately, but Sab has stolen theirs, and now Sab moving this flag forward for G1.
Yeah, it's a good flag pull. I like the route he takes as well. A lot of cover on this side of the map. No one really in position except for the people, of course, at his pace. Those players will be in position, but you see the kills already come out. I like the push off a spawn from Rami and Squally. They get in a position to push together to stop that flag from going in, and because of that, the flag will get returned. That's a huge return by those 2 players.
3v3 situation. His next kill is so important. Of course, Falcator putting his 5th on the board, snatching up that sniper rifle. 8 shots in it. This sniper rifle practically full, and immediately gets put to work.
Killing spree.
Giving Nemesis the most cleanest fade of all time. My man left here bald, now going after Triton with the body shot, and ultimately gonna finish him off with that BR eventually. Actually looked a little bit lost. Triton took a wide turn here instead of going towards the basement. Falcated not finding out, but Boo Dooble is gonna move this flag. Triton now somehow has made it to the opposite side of the map, so Triton, who stays alive from that body shot from the sniper rifle, somehow makes it across the map, stops the flag carrier from going forward, and gets the return.
That return's gonna be huge, but this camo is even bigger at this point in time, but that's a big snipe right there. It's gonna put the camo inside of Sab's hands. He's gonna have it now to utilize it in order to potentially pull another flag here. And you see Nemesis is the isolated player. He's gonna be the player they have to take out. Triton's on the lower level here, so Nemesis kind of alone. There it is. They take out that first player. Now they can convert on more, and you're gonna start to see the numbers on the top right side fall. That's 3 down for Cloud9.
But Sab able to bind the oh my gosh, Sab able to get the repulse kill onto Squally, and I believe Squally might have even had that camouflage right there. So now the flag just moving forward for Gamers First, and all of Cloud9 are stuck on their half of the map. Rami's the most forward player, and he hasn't even made it out of his computers, and now he's right back to the respawn screen. Finally, Cloud9 are able to get Falcated out of the base, but that's not going to stop Sab from punching in flag number 1.
That was a picture perfect play by Gamers First. I absolutely love that by Gamers First. They get that first kill, they convert on the other 2 very quickly, and then the 4th, and then they just spawn trap at snipe side while they pull flag on opposite pistol side. Beautiful job. That's gonna be the first cap on the board, but a very clean cap. No scrappiness. You know, get the slays necessary, put it in. That's it.
Disrupt in the back pocket here for Triton. Couple shots on Suspector, gonna make him weak. Suspector still somehow doing damage and even taking down Rami while isolating that gunfight using that wall. Triton finally gets the kill there, but Rami ends up on the black screen, so a trade out in life here for Suspector, but that flag moving forward. Can anybody stop him from going in? Sab down to one shot, tries to take height with the repulsor, but is going to be dealt with immediately. Squale sliding right in for the return, dodging nades left and right as Gamers First end up going 3 down. Squale gets a touch, able to turn that corner, has the reinforcement. He's looking for Falcated with the stop, Rami with the follow through, and Rami should be able to run that flag over towards the base. Well executed by Cloud9, but your job's not done yet. Apparently Suspector found himself a sniper.
You see the difference between that cap or this cap going on right now and the cap that Gamers First got? It's much more scrappy, and what scrappiness does is it puts you in a situation where if you don't get this cap and you overcommit resources to it, you're gonna end up getting counter capped, and G1 is gonna end up being up 2-0. So they've got to be careful here. A lot of them are dying for this flag, and they all go down, and look at this. A perfect counter cap opportunity in the hands of Boo Boo Dubu. He's also got the camo. It's not gonna play a factor though. He just wants to get that past the 50% portion.
Now Gamers First have the opportunity to follow through, but Cloud9 have the opportunity to respond back right off a spawn, taking 2 members down from Gamers First immediately. So that's a reset now coming in both for the flag and for the entire G1 offense. And Rami showing us how much damage the sidekick can do. The melee comes a bit early. Gamers First able to put Cloud9 3 down because of it, and those individual gunfights, when they start to add up in a negative value towards you, that spells defeat here. Cloud9, you better be careful.
Yeah, they just got to be involved in more fights together. Again, look at the assist column. I know I brought it up like 3 times already, but I think it's a huge factor in this series. You're seeing G1. They've got, you know, obviously the assist column is much more on their side. They're just, you can see as well, if you just look at the game, they're just involved in much more of the fights together. They're able to kind of stay alive like Falcon is doing right here. The chemistry is just on point for G1. You're starting to see that their chemistry is building. I feel like this is a squad that has so much potential. We just have yet to see it. And honestly, that just means their ceiling is extremely high. You place them in potentially top 4, top 6. I mean, if they continue to improve like we've seen from this tournament, coming from the last, I think this team could do big things.
As of right now, Cloud9 still tied up right now, so it's not over just yet. Although, like you kind of mentioned before, the flag cap that Gamers First had was a lot cleaner than the scrappy one that Cloud9 really had to fight for, and then continue to fight just to stop the counter cap from coming in. And now Falcon with the sniper rifle in hands, you know how dangerous he can be. So Nemesis having to give up his life to drop that sticky grenade just to trade out there. Now Squale, the only player with the sniper rifle on the map for it now. 3 members of G1 in front of him. The first one goes down. Sab gets lined up. Body shot should be able to take them down as well. So now Cloud9 have the numbers advantage, pushing forward. Another individual fight's gonna go in Squale's favor, taking down Falcated. 3 down here for Cloud9 as they push forward and look to punish the spawns once again.
Yeah, Cloud9 can continue to isolate players like this and win the 1v1s. This is where they kind of shine, I would say, with the lack of chemistry. I think, you know, they're doing a good job of winning those 1v1s once again. Nemesis, and he gets another one for the double. That's going to be huge for them, but 3 down, unfortunately, for Cloud9. This flag is not going anywhere. They prevent that pull.
Bit of a momentary 1v1. Squale still coming up for spawn here, and Sab able to spawn up and grab that return. So like you said, another reset comes in, and we're tied up at 1 apiece. Argyle, one of the toughest maps to get a capture on here. I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends up ending 2-1. To be honest with you, Tim, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being a tie with how tough it is to capture a flag on this map. Sab doing everything can to stay alive, but eventually will be hunted down there by Triton. Sab goes down, so does Triton's. Gamers First get a momentary advantage, and Suspector wants to take that and take height.
Yeah, it looks like G1 just playing a lot of defense right now. That camo is coming up though, so with Cloud9 spawning back at their base, they're gonna have a sniper to work with, but the camo gonna probably be in the hands of G1 here, and they're gonna try and utilize this. It looks like they did drop down, so this camo's still at the top of the map. These next couple slays are gonna be important. 3 down for Cloud9 once again. G1 take map control, and they're gonna pull another flag.
We got some information from Taylor Snow Stats, and he says that G1 4-3 on this map, so record not the best.
Right.
Cloud9 are 0-4.
Wow.
So It's obviously not a bread and butter for either one of these teams, but I think I'm gonna give Gamers First obviously the advantage on Argyle CTF, and as they've at least gotten 4 wins on meaningful games and tournament gameplay. And of course with Sab with the sniper rifle and camouflage. One of the most dangerous players on the map without it, but now with this combination, able to get the triple kill and then run this flag forward, and with Cloud9 on respawn, Suspector getting yet another remote detonation just like that. It looks like Gamers First are going up 2-1.
It is absolutely incredible. Halo Infinite, one of the most team-oriented Halos in the series, but there is still a lot of room for a single player to shine, and Sab doing a lot of shining in that last play.
My gosh. The Savage is a different beast, man. I'm telling you, like, he'll start off a game slow, and then once he gains any kind of momentum, once he starts feeling himself, he's dangerous, man. As Falcon gets the 3rd remote detonation so far this year. The first one was remote detonation into the BR kill. So far, he's gotten 2 on the kill feed right now. Falcon is shooting more nades on the ground than he's actually shooting bodies on the map at this point.
I mean, we talk about Sab, but look at Falcon, someone who's been playing phenomenal in this game. 25 and 15 here, 11 assists on the board as well. All of G1 playing phenomenal. 2 minutes remaining, and Cloud9 look to answer. Let's see if this cap will be a clean one.
Momentary forward down in favor of Cloud9, but Gamers First come off a spawn and immediately make their presence known. It's what they're the best at, is immediately spawning up and getting that map presence, getting that map control. And Cloud9 are finding out the hard way. What started off as a great pull is now becoming scrappy, but Cloud9 says, we can scrap with you. We got hands. As they put them right back 3 down once again. Tried snatch up the active camouflage and even trusting his teammate to finish off that cap as he continues this 50% portion defense here. It's tied up at 2 apiece, and Cloud9 still have control. They're still getting kills left and right. This could be a continuation flag run in favor of Cloud9 if Gamers First don't be careful.
Yeah, Gamers First look to have the defense prepared for that, though, but you said it perfectly, Tony. That was a scrappy run, but when you have a scrappy run like that, you're able to get the slays and you force G1 to spawn back at their base. You've got all the room in the world to get that flag cap in. With a minute remaining, we are tied 2-2 in game number 3. This is a must-win game for Cloud9 here.
55 seconds on the clock here. Grammy able to take down Suspector from across the map, make it 2 as he drops a beautiful double kill here. And now Triton and Rami working in tandem, the double push over towards the sidekick side of the map. Triton takes down Sab. Suspector now being left over toward the snipe side. The denial grenades along with Triton's coming in. The flag will be started, but how far can Triton get it? Down to 1 shot. Squale putting his body in between the opposition and the line of sight. Squale ends up getting a double kill to cover the flag carrier's back, and now Triton advancing this flag forward. Sab gets a double kill of his own, but is still on his side. Boo Boo Dooble's the only forward-facing player on the map, and Boo Boo Dooble just got spotted and dealt with. Cloud9 having to inch this flag forward, get the kills. Inch forward, get the kill. Sab is right here, takes 1 down, 3 down, goes Gamers First. The final player gonna make a desperation run, but it's not gonna happen. Cloud9 right through the mid-map. A fumble's in, but it looks like that fumble's not gonna be enough. No Mark Sanchez here. Cloud9 take it, and we are going to a game 5.
Sometimes scrappiness works out for you, especially if you have players getting huge kills like you had on Cloud9 there at the very last of that play. And you see how G1 made that so very difficult, but the teamwork comes out at the very end for Cloud9 when they need it the most. And now we're tied up. And Tony, we talked about a game number 5. That's exactly where we're going. We're going to a game number 5.
Wow. What a game by Cloud9. If you think about it, for most of that game, I would say maybe we'll call it maybe 65, almost 70%, maybe 69% of the time, I think Gamers First had the advantage in that game number 4. Like, legitimately looks like Gamers First, they had the clean first run. Their second run was great, but Cloud9 continued to fight their way tooth and nail. Made sure they secured their kills, mind you, multiple times. They need about 3 rounds of slays per flag captured there, but they got it. And that's what matters. 3-2. Cloud9 killing it right now. And now we're going to find out if they can continue that momentum on their side. Now going into game number 5. With this game number 4, it was Cloud9 on their back foot. Now it's G1 looking for a response.
Yeah, with such a convincing game number 3 by G1, and you know, that very first flag cap being as clean as it was, I truly thought that this was all but over. But Cloud9 had the grit. They came through. They won the scrappy fights. They won a lot of individual fights at the very end there to secure that last flag. A lot of big teamwork here as well. You kind of see that player was weak. The cleanup comes through, and then again, another assist right there. So teamwork being the name of the game at the very end there. That fumble scared me a little bit though. Boo Boo was up. I wasn't sure if he was on that flag plat. I knew the spawns were probably going to come out on the flag plat, so I was a little bit worried with that, you know, front base run, but it ended up working out for them. And now we get to watch a game number 5. Shout out to these teams, man. I love to see even teams like this, you know, their ability to kind of put on all this entertainment. And here we are just watching. I love it. I love Halo.
I feel like that flag fumble should have scared you down. Like I feel like with Argyle being just what 3 really long hallways, and he decided to run that flag over towards the front side. You know, once the spawners come in, you got to imagine they have an immediate sight line on you. So if one shooting you is enough, but if 2 end up on the map shooting at the same time, you're getting shredded. It is very hard to capture a flag on this map, especially if you're going up the mid or if the enemy team has favorable spawn on the same line of sight where you're running the flag. So I feel like that flag fumble should have worried you, and I'm not mad at you whatsoever, but like I said, you're able to punch it through. That's what matters. You know, we're not going to cry over spilled milk, especially because that milk ended up being drinkable anyways. We're going into Slayer Recharge for our game number 5. And we said in the beginning, with how both of these teams are looking, with the way they were fighting, they look evenly matched, and it had to go to a game 5. I'm going to predict right now that this is going to be a close one. I'm going to say maybe 50-47. No matter who wins, I think it might be the 3-kill advantage over either one of them. That's how close this matchup is going to be here on Recharge.
We're gonna have to see some value come out of these camos, of course. We did see Recharge for game number 1. It was oddball, of course, at the time, but a very close matchup there that went to time. So like you said, I would 100% agree with you that this is going to be a very close matchup. I'm curious of the mental of G1. I always think about that aspect. You come out of a game 3 where you dominated, and then you kind of unfortunately are not able to convert on this game number 4. I'm kind of curious on how they're feeling right now and what they're thinking going into this next match. Obviously, you want to go into every match with confidence, but that little thing in the back of your head that tells you, maybe a little bit of doubt coming through there. This is a close series, and honestly, I don't know if G1 maybe they overlooked this team. Cloud9 is very, very solid roster, and you know, if I was to look on paper, I wouldn't put these two squads, in terms of skill, I wouldn't put them even. I would put G1. No, I wouldn't say leagues ahead, but definitely pretty far ahead. Cloud9 proving me wrong.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it before. You know, G1, if not being everybody's top 4 in the team in the league, I would say definitely top 6. Where on that same scale, Cloud9 are somewhere between top 16 and top 12. But I know they have ability to make it to that top 8 or top 6. I just think right now the league is very competitive at the moment. But you still, no matter how you spin it, you would have G1 ahead of them. In fact, in their head-to-head matchup during the JJ event, it was G1 that 3-0'd this same Cloud9 roster. So I don't think anybody's surprised that you would have them being dominant over them. But we know what Cloud9 are made of. Going to this game number 4, though, it's tough for me to think that G1 don't have the advantage, because I feel like where their teamwork really shines is in Slayer. In fact, according to their numbers, I'm not gonna make them. I'm gonna let my man Tay handle the real numbers and say that as of right now, Slayer is actually G1's best game type. They're actually rocking a 100% win rate before going into this tournament today, which is crazy to me. That's insane. 100% win rate.
Yeah, that's insane. I've just kind of, always kind of seen G1, even with their previous rosters, as a Slayer roster. But we'll have to see what happens here. This is a very important game number 5. Of course, this camo being down bottom center. I believe someone did pick it up. I'm not sure, but Suspector holding a very important position on this top tower. Goes in to clean up a kill there. Triton's going to clean him up, though. So 3 down for G1. Cloud9 have a little bit of a lead right at the start of the game.
Ooh. And Triton. Getting that perfect kill onto Sav allows him to get right back into the fight to cover his teammates back in Nemesis. But did he know there was 3 members of Gamers First instead of just 2? But luckily Cloud9 were already working on those angles, already collapsing in as a unit. This is the teamwork that you want to see out of Cloud9, especially in Slayer. 9-4 start. Shock rifle in the hands of Squall. Gamers First, where you at?
5 assists on the board out of the 9 kills they've gotten. That's exactly what I want to see, Tony, and it's good that they're pulling it out right now in this game 5, the deciding game here. See a triple push on the pipe side. This is really scary, but I love the fact that Squall took a different angle there, and he gets 2 because of it. Absolutely beautiful by Squall. He wants the 30, lines it up. Not gonna hit it though. Triton's forced to back off as well, and Rami going a little bit too early there. Let's see if he's able to get a kill. And again, teamwork is happening here out of Cloud9. This is not what we expected to see after what we've seen all series long.
Cloud9 are like a bunch of like Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z. They get stronger in battle. They've somehow become a better team as the series has gone longer. Now Squall is hitting shot after shot with the shock rifle, able to shred one, almost gets himself that double kill, but now the shock rifle changes hands. Falcated, man at the top of the map. Cloud9 might be up by 5, but the game is still early and camouflage is still coming up.
It is one thing to get a lead of 5. It's another thing to maintain that lead, and right off the bat, you see Squall does go down there, so that's going to be a camo in the hands of G1. See what they're able to do with this. This is a very important camo that can really swing the game, but oh my goodness, Sav is going to go down instantly. That's Squall. Squall's playing on a different level right now. This is incredible out of him. 6-3 to start this game.
17-13 lead though in favor of Cloud9 as Nemesis finds another kill onto Suspector, and Falcated being chased away by that same player in Nemesis in a 1v2 by himself. Somehow takes down one, chases down another, even gets aggressive onto the long haul side despite being by himself, but now Rami's in the fight. Now it's a 1-2 combo. Rami and Nemesis gonna work together on the long haul side. Green gun out. Falcated's already in. Falcated the first one to go down. Suspector ends up being the second one here. Nemesis and Rami gonna win that 2v2 engagement. And then Nemesis even helping his teammate from across the map. Who is this man? 7-2. We've seen him do this before on Recharge, and it wasn't pretty for the opposing team.
It is not pretty. 23-15. G1 on their back foot. 100% win rate out of this squad before today's tournament. And that statistic is being proven wrong so far by Cloud9. We'll see if potentially they can continue on this momentum, though. This is easily broken with just one camo, one solid push. Oh, there's the push right there, and Triton's gonna squash it, and he squashes. Rami squashes another one. Constantly Cloud9 playing some incredible defense here to keep this lead.
Camouflage coming up. Cloud9 moving away from their gold side setup in order to get an angle on this camouflage. Nemesis gets the big kill onto Boo Boo Doo, then backs right down to player's life. The rest of Cloud9 still forward facing here over towards the A side. And Nemesis now really the only player defending gold, but we saw him defend against 2 earlier. Early damage onto Suspector. Squall and Triton already moving into position. Boo Boo Doo somehow gets away with the camouflage, and Squall about to find out the hard way. Squall goes down. Down by 10 kills. Can this camouflage net Gamers First to +2, +3 kills, and maybe some momentum?
3 players at A, a player on the cross on long haul side. That player on the cross on long haul is gonna put the one shot to reveal the camo on Boo Boo Doo, and once again Cloud9 continuing on this defense. The confidence out of this squad is immaculate. It is causing them to have a 12-kill lead right now on G1, one of the best teams in the league.
G1 are getting dominated at the moment here. We talked about the individual skill that Cloud9 bring to the table, but when their teamwork is working like this, the angles are too crisp. They're covering each other's back. They're playing for their brothers right now. Instead of playing for the kills, playing to keep each other alive. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this suit of armor looks good on these Spartans right now. It's a 34-21 lead as we move over towards the end game. Gamers First need a response, and they need it now, Tim.
Triple kill.
There is the response. A triple kill out of Suspector right there. It's still a 10-kill game here, though. Rami ends up getting traded out there. And this is what the problem is, Tony. No matter what, G1, if they're to push here, Cloud9 are fine with just getting a couple trades. They have no problem with it. What G1 needs is some clean slays. And they finally get 2 on the board right there. No one goes down for G1. They get 2 slays, and they're continuing to do the same. That's exactly what they need to get back into this game. It's now a 6-kill game.
They've cut the lead down to 6 here, and Suspector looking for that presence onto the gold side, being left alone here, but the rest of Gamers First are allowed to get angles on this active camouflage. Somehow Sad biting off a bit more than he can chew. Boo Boo Dooble comes in, I believe got the double kill, which nets him yet another active camouflage. Hopefully this time he can stay alive with that a little bit longer. In fact, dies with it even sooner. Squale hunting him down, but a 5-kill game. Gamers First still in it. Cloud9 getting very close to that end though. It's 40, 41 and counting. Now Gamers First really have to start valuing their life here because every death matters.
And G1 have had every single camo except for one, I believe, and all of them have not netted any value. Boo was gonna get caught out, isolated. Sab's gonna try and help him. He has to overextend here, trying a great job playing his life in this situation. He comes back, gets the melee, 44 to 36. That is absolutely insane. 6 kills, and Cloud9 will take this series.
Triton's on the hunt right now. At this point, you see the red tape. You just gotta cross right through it. Cloud9, you were at the end zone here, but Squale ends up being spotted over towards the seaside. Triton now gonna be left alone because of it, able to deal 1 onto Suspector. Remy follows it up by taking down Boo Boo Dooble. These are huge kills now coming in out of Cloud9, and the spawning players of G1 now trying to separate. The last thing they want to do is be trapped. Falcated busting right through the gold side, right into Squale's face. Gonna get the kill on that one. Remy being responsible for holding down this tower side as Troy gets yet 1 more. 3 more kills needed here. Oh my gosh, I'm about to faint.
Yeah, G1 is separated on the map right now, and it's all about Cloud9 taking advantage of that, and there it is! 50 to 43, Cloud9 win in a Game 5 against Gamers First. Cloud9, what an incredible victory by them. They kept the lead the entire game, and then went for trades where they knew they were on top. Wow, absolutely beautiful.
I'm frantically searching through for the script here because I done tossed the papers already, but something tells me that this wasn't a part of it. This should have been a 3-1 for Gamers First. This should have ended back at Argyle, but somehow Cloud9 clutch it up and pull off the upset against Gamers First. The very team that 3-0'd them to knock them out of the JJ Events tournament. It's Cloud9 that get their revenge, and wow. Good for them, honestly.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to speak like. Yeah, obviously I'm not there. I can't see. I'm not a fly on the wall. I can't see what they're doing. But I would assume if a team like Cloud9 wants to continue to improve and continue to get better, they watched that, you know, the JJ Events tournament where they did get 3-0'd, and they went back, watched film, and they adjusted things in their game. Honestly, it was a very close series still. And it's all due to hard work, man. Coming in there, getting that bot review in, or, you know, practicing. I don't think they played as a team as much as I would want them to, but they did when it mattered the most in that game number 5, and it was beautiful.
I'm looking at the stats, and obviously it takes a full team effort. I don't want to take anything away from anybody, but I just want to highlight Nemesis and Squale. Both of them 15 kills, 30 of the team's 50 kills between the 2 of them, and then also even go along with it, you know, 13 assists out of the both of them combined. So just like, so literally you have 2 players that contributed to 43 of the team's 50 kills in some way, shape, or form, whether it be by kills or by assists. That doesn't include the damage that, you know, just popping one off and just staying alive right there. I think that's just so impressive to me, and it just so impressive for the entire Cloud9 roster to be able to come in for that game number 4. We saw those back-to-back captures towards that was ice in their veins, and then even going the distance in that Argyle flag to come in that Slayer and to really look dominant for most of the game. So you saw 2 sides. You saw the scrappy team that had to claw their way right back into the game on Argyle CTF, and then you saw the dominant team that played from an advantage, that had to play even better Halo than you have to do when coming from behind, really, you know, and just play good fundamental Halo, and they're able to come out with that.